God, did that feel fucking great again? Again and again and again, 'cause it always loves to come. Baby! What you say? There's so many things to fail. What you hungry With the body wants to rest, and the show is gone, but the asshole takes a breath, and she's moving on, and the melody that comes from every word. It repeats again and again. The golden with the new is time to show. She's so dead once again. She's so Just keep going just like that. It's a national law. Just hold the note tightly. Slow down like so with short talk and was not the note that but that was the sometimes gotta listen closely with the chord. The strings are seriously out with tune. This fucker has to be tuned. God, this guitar sucks tonight. Fucking strings are way too fucking high. Serious Action Jackson. Alright, Amy, that's enough. Sit your ass down. We need to get another guitarist up here. Ah, yes, the Yamaha Mama.
Look, a white dick.
So God, this fucking guitar is so out of tune. It doesn't fucking matter though. Cause everything to sound good. Doesn't matter if everything's out of tune. Cause it to sound good with yourself. Cause it to happen. Don't make it happen because you'll be paying tax. Cause it to happen. This ain't no fucking Mayday. The ship ain't going down. Rise up. It's the same thing with fucking. It's all the same universal energy. Holding something, feeling good with it, and changing positions. Especially when it gets fucking boring and dry as fuck! It happens with everything, because everything in the universe utilizes the same fucking law! It ain't bad! Anything isn't bad! It's just that someone called it bad and made someone feel ashamed with it! Get back to nature! It's like holding something. Any subject, any word, any thought, anything. Hold it, sit there with it, get used to it, embrace it, show it love. Oh, you suck! Oh, this sucks! This song sucks. I ain't in the mood for it. Well, change it up. Bring the joy. Just hold it right there, honey. Keep grinding right there, just like that. If you need to, slow it down. Change the rhythm. Change the angle. Hit the conversation from a different angle. Hit anything from a different angle. It's a universal principle. Fucking evil. Come on! Get with the universal quantum leap and advance! T-R-U-S That's called a target. Hit the target. Everything is a target. When the target is missed, things feel a little bit off, but that's alright. That's the opportunity to learn how to get it off. It used to get it off. Because the next step is always get it back on. Like falling off the horse. Get back on it, sucker, and ride it. And hold it right there until something comes. It's a principle. Doesn't matter the subject, 'cause everything goes with the law. Just learn to wait for it, baby. Wait for it. Hold it right there and wait. And when you see it, when you feel it, when you hear it, let it rip. Any note, any way. It's the same principle as a new county sheriff. And every new county sheriff is always looking to share the new rip. But he waits for it to come. Waits for it to come. And if the sheriff isn't there, she waits for the court judge to hold it right there, sharing all the evidence. Now for a little acoustic. This is called acoustic guitar, just in case you might feel a little bit awkward with the word. Acou. There's an S after cruise, and then a word that sounds like thick. book for a while. Till it comes, honey. You want to keep raising slaves, or you want to enhance the universe? You always want to be afraid of everything, or you want to trust and be secure? Seems how you like questions, baby. Remember, everything always comes out when it's stage time. Everything comes out. Everything is brought to light. Everything. That's what the stage is for. Share the evidence, and that's all the evidence. Nothing held back. Every possibility. On the road to getting rid of fucking bills. And learning how to sing with notes. Graduate from slave to equals. The golden age. Gold is gold. G-O-L. And there's been a whole lot of D for debt paying death debtor. Slave fuck situation. Call it what it is. Ain't no one really liked being a slave and working for someone. Although there are a whole bunch that like to work with each other. It should be a no-brainer, although some are used to working for others and sucking good dick. Acoustic guitar. Just the way the universe is at this current time, but it don't have to stay like this for fucking ever, because that's a forever is always working forever for someone. Change the word forever and for it on the record to with ever and with. Together equal with the record. Just tweak a small couple of things with the society and the motor starts to perform like high performance, honey. High performance. High caliber. All fires, all cylinders firing. All the time. But when something's missing, it's a shitty engine run. But when that engine's humming and purring, boom! Always remember, wait with it. Quit waiting for it. That's why it never comes. Wait with it, and then big surprise. all. Doesn't mean that it's all correct. But there does seem to be some sense with it. Can't really deny that, although if one wants to deny it.
Yeah, I like working for someone.
Good, here, suck my dick again, bitch. In other words, do what I tell you to do, I'm gonna fucking punish your ass. Yes, that's the way the society has been running. And no, it doesn't have to stay like this. And yes, it is good to admit and have a confession that's what's going on. And there is a goal to strive toward. Things don't change overnight, although there are a lot of lovely nights. Looky here. This is the G court. And look, the judge wears a G-string. Oh, is he on the county swim team? The fuck's he doing up there in his goddamn Speedo? Shut the fuck up. I'm comfortable. You look comfortably numb. Some judges say that. That's just the way it is. It doesn't mean it's the ultimate, but it happens. Shit happens. Stepping in a cow patty out in the fucking field happens. So, get a little wise to it and look for it coming next time. That way you don't step in it again. But if you do step in it again, so what? That's another reminder. How many reminders to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop, Toots? Here's the answer. Figure it out. As many as it could be a little bit, or it could be a lot, or medium, or it could be hanging off a tree. Jumping ropes, shooting baskets with it. It all depends. What's good for you? What are you trying to live up to someone else's number count? Yeah, I need $1,200 here. You're missing something. Yes, that's the way the world works. Fucking kick this fucking renter's ass. We got payments here. But it doesn't have to stay like this. And the whole town conversation talk can start talking something different. Besides what the fuck's been going on. Same shit, different day. And it was getting worse and worse and worse until someone stepped up to the plate and said, "Plane, fucker! Plane!"
looks like looks like the fucking speaker broke. Woo! Holy shit. Hook that amp up to this bigger speaker over here, and the brother could smell something in electronics, but he disregarded it. It looks like that there's no light with the amp. This Cube 40, it probably just fucking could have blew a fuse or whatever the fuck. Who the fuck knows? But anyway, those fucking things are a dime a dozen. Just gotta get the Treasury access, baby. Yeah. It's a fucking show, came out of fucking nowhere. Woo! That's pretty cool anyway, because the brother's been on a nice rest spur. You know, a splooge or, you know, a fucking, like the last 2 months, 3 months, 2 or 3 months, probably 2 months, month and a half, 2 months, just being totally just fucking restful. Getting used to, you know, being more quieter. So this was like one final show. This app lasted one final show to get the next quiet streak. It's a natural force. It's a natural force law. So the brother has learned to, essentially brother here, has learned to just flow with the natural force laws when they happen. So there'll be an occasion with the next show when the amp arrives, or that one's repaired, or figured something. Brother could smell it though. He hooked the speaker in this Cube 40 into the speaker of the Cube 60. Because the Cube 60 blew, a component has to be replaced. So the brother wanted to, instead of using this car speaker down here, saying as a car speaker, fucking lights. thing don't want to come on right now. Anyway, there's a fucking little speaker inside here. It's a car speaker though. Go get the flashlight. So the brother's learning to be more restful instead of all in a hurry and shit, and to recognize when the two energies are pulling. See, that's a car speaker from Goodwill. It's like $15 like 10 years ago. And that amp was playing through that speaker because the speaker in the Cube 40 went out and the brother tore it apart. So, I mean, he actually ripped the cone apart, figuring to get it. But so, and this is a bigger speaker. This is a 10-inch speaker. So, and the brother could smell it. As soon as he turned it on for the concert, started playing, it automatically could smell it. It was probably drawing too much something on the amp. This is because the 10-inch speaker is for the 60-watt amp, and this is a 40-watt amp. And is using a 60-watt speaker, so it's probably drawing too much power out of the amp. It just fucking quit. right. As soon as the song was singing stop, stop paying bills, fucking amp just fucking stopped. Boom. Now that's some shit. During the Ozzy Osbourne song too. And, you know, London, England, or people in the CIA or administrations were sending messages on the on the fucking interrupting the smartphone as the brother was singing earlier today without the guitar. He was just karaoke singing. and fucking giving fucking, you know, speaking like a keynote speaker, singing and speaking. Brother let the fire go out, but that's all right. Just fucking all that shit. Anyway, this is gonna be a long upload, so might as well just fucking close it up for now. But the brother had the house all locked up, shut up. All the windows closed, the doors closed, the bedroom to the windows, the front door closed. And I'm sure it was still fucking somewhat loud out here, even with a 40-watt amp. But that 40-watt amp is just loud enough to be not so fucking agitating. But the 60-watt amp, that fucker gets loud enough to agitate the neighbors. And it actually did. Living in Washington State, playing on the 60-watt amp, fucking people were calling the cops. Then when the brother moved, he got rid of the 60-watt amp and ended up getting a 40-watt, and it's less loud. Haven't had a single cop called on the 40-watt amp. Been playing the 40-watt amp since fucking 2004. That's when the 40-watt amp was purchased. So that's like 21 years. Not a single fucking cop called. But the 60-watt amp, living in Washington State, cop call. It's only 20 more amps, but it's just enough to peep into the neighbor's house to cause them discomfort, cause the neighbor discomfort. So they want to call, someone would want to call the cop. Anyway, that's that. Called a nut night. Get this thing uploaded. Be a wonderful Ozzy Osbourne song. Ozzy popped up, come up on stage, started singing. That's called channeling. Channeling. And no, Russell hasn't done no drugs, smoked no pot, drinking no alcohol, no fucking nothing. This is just sober, straight fucking energy. Having a nice rest for the last couple months, and then all of a sudden just feeling like having a fucking show. Just because. All sober. Everything this brother does is sober. Every fucking thing. Brother's always sober all the fucking time. Doesn't need no fucking inebriation at all to feel comfortable or to loosen up. It's all just being confident and secure and having trust. It's all. It's all it is. And going over it over and over and over it year after year after year till it becomes very strong. Don't need anything artificial. Nothing wrong with artificial. It's a wonderful tool to help loosen things up so that people can let that inner child out, so that the inner child can come out. You don't have to use the word people, be more general. Use the word people. People feel like they're being talked about. So just in general, don't say pronouns, don't mention people. Because they think, as soon as the word people's mentioned, they think, oh my God, you must think you're so great and I'm being belittled. You're saying people as though you're pointing a fucking finger. That's what happens. That's the way the children have been trained. It's always no security and I feel like I'm being picked on. Feel like I'm being blamed. So it's not a good idea to go around using the word people or these pronouns, you, I, me, us. None of that shit. Because it keeps triggering the fear with the inner child. Learn to speak more generally, universally, so that one can contemplate without that sense of offense, like, oh my God, you're talking about me. I feel like you're talking about me. Because these words trigger the subconscious, which has been programmed. And people, there are people that have been programming all the children for years now, centuries, with words and dictionaries and definitions, and being locked in on them. So that whenever these words are used, people aren't, there's the word people again. There's no consciousness with the triggers that are happening at the subconscious level that are causing these inner, slight, very subtle, subliminal, offensive emotions that rise up. With the use of these pronouns, people, us, they, them, you, me, I, using those words all the time. And the thing is that they're programmed so strongly into the thoughts and the body that to become conscious with it is quite a an accomplishment. And then once one becomes conscious, to start having experience and training the self to stop using those fucking words, put them on the fucking museum shelf for a while until the whole fucking world changes and the subconsciousnesses change, so that these offenses, when those words are used, that it doesn't have any effect. All these offenses that rise up, subconsciously, subliminally, they rise up. And it's not even realized. There's no consciousness with it. It just happens. Although there are some people that are conscious with it, and they'll go so far as to say, oh my God, you made me mad. That gets me angry. Some people are quite sensitive, and they realize when their triggers are triggered, and when they're getting all pissed off and everything, and then they'll verbally express it and confess it. But there's a whole lot of people in the world that they ain't even conscious at all. All these emotions just come up, and then the emotions are like demon possession. It just takes over. And next thing you know, relationships go to shit. Relationships with other living organisms go to shit because of these offenses that rise up. So learning how to train to cut out all the stuff that triggers offense so that relationships can actually have a cure, have an opportunity to cure. Because growing a relationship is like nurturing a little plant. It has to be watered, nurtured, fertilized, tenderized, shown love, and all that stuff. And to learn how to stop feeding it the wrong stuff that triggers it off. And it doesn't change overnight. It doesn't change overnight. It is a fucking, it's a journey. It's a journey. And there's fucking 9 billion people on this planet. That doesn't include all the rest of the planets out there and all the other living organisms. And there's all kinds of offense permeating the whole fucking universe. Has been like this for a while, a long time. And it's natural, it's normal. It's just part of growing up. That's all it is. Consciousness is just growing up, becoming conscious with everything that's going on, and learning to live with it and then bring cures for all the problems. And to realize when these offenses rise up, that they're causing all this fucking fighting going on, all these wars, battles, everything, competition, you fucking name it. All from this thing called unconscious offenses that rise up, triggered with words connected to a dictionary with definitions that are programming the children, all the children, from day fucking one conception in the womb, listening to mother and father and all the rest of the people out in the world talk in the womb for 9 months with it. Then they come out as babies and it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. Unconscious to the problem. But it's not really a problem. It's just the situation that's happening. And I'm not saying that it is happening. There's the word I'm again. Not saying that it is happening. It could be, this could be the thing that is happening and the major thing that is happening to become conscious with. So that it becomes a conversation out in the town all the time. All the time. And every time it rises up. Every time it rises up. Every time there's an offense. To catch it. And if have to, have a conversation with it. This is what's going on. This is how I'm feeling. And then figure out the trigger that caused it. And it's usually a word that was said. Not only these words, there are body actions that cause triggers too. Body actions. Emotional triggers to want to get offended at things. That's why it's a good idea to learn. It's a real wonderful idea to learn how to learn to accept everything that's said and spoken and everything that's going on, to learn how to accept it as valuable and to get used to it. And just to mind one's own fucking business. That's a good way to put it, because most people understand it quite bluntly that way. Learn how to mind one's own fucking business and not get involved with the bullshit, because that in itself is the cure. And it spreads. And it's a public witness when others see that, oh my God, this fucker is unfucking shaken. Nothing fucking bothers this fucker. Not saying me, but anyone. There are many people that are on this journey and all at different levels. That public witness, minding one's own fucking business, and being unshaken with everything going on, unfearful, unoffended, that in itself is a public witness where other living organisms witness it, and when consciousness arrives, the living organisms kind of like ponders it and thinks, oh my God, this looks like a goal to attain, to strive, to strive to be that way. This looks like a goal to strive and to be that way, to be unoffended at anything. anything, everything, and all surprises that come up too. Anyway, that's 2 hours, so later.